Yo, what's good, fam? Agent O here, and I'm finally back with an action figure review. And today I have the SH Monster Arts Zinogre from the Monster Hunter franchise. I love Monster Hunter World. It's the first Monster Hunter game I played, and this was one of my all-time favorite designs that I saw from that franchise. I was happy that they did an action figure of it, and this is it. I finally got it in the mail, and I'm really eager to get to reviewing. And you can see on the box, you've got a picture of Zinogre, and you can see the figure in the blast mold and all that. This is kind of a cool designed box, if I do say so. You guys know I don't really care about the box art and the box design, but they kind of made this look pretty nice. And of course, you've got the Tamashii seal of approval. You've got the Capcom little sticker, so I don't know, I guess they gotta add their stamp on it too. But yeah, it's all there, and this is it for the box. You guys know how it is, how I am with box art and stuff like that. I don't care that much about it, but I care more about what's inside. So let's get this guy open and let's get to the review. And here we have Zinogre. And yeah, man, I mean, right off the bat, I was really impressed. I noticed it in the advertisement images for the toy, but I was really impressed with just how nice they got all the detailing right on this figure. He looks great from head to toe. I love the translucent fur that they've got on the top of his body, almost all throughout. Also on the bottom, you've got some translucent, some see-through going on in there, and you got some of it going on the fur on his forearms and on his hind legs. Love all the spiky detail on there, and there's a lot of sharp points. So yeah, if you get this guy, be careful, because you can poke yourself pretty good on this guy. Love the bottom of his tail, because in the game, if you've played the game, he uses some tail attacks, and you see this spiky mass of tail coming at you. You're trying to get out the way from getting swiped, and it was also fun because you could cut the tail off in the game. But yeah, looks good. I have literally no complaints. I love how they pulled off the I don't know if my camera will pick it up, but his skin, the scaly skin on his back, and it was always kind of shiny in the game because like I said, he was a thunder, lightning based elemental monster, and they got that off in the video game, and they pretty much have recaptured that on the toy itself. I think it looks stupendous. I really have no complaints about this guy aesthetic wise. Even the love, because even in the game, like, the geometry is just so precise with the character models. I loved how his mouth would close and it would be flush with the rest of his head, and they captured that in the toy version as well. Looks really good. Once again, no complaints whatsoever. I can't think of one bad thing or a nitpicky thing to say about the look of this guy. I think it looks really damn good. But that's kind of why you're buying Monster Art toys anyway, is because they're able to capture the look of these monsters so well. Moving on to the articulation, start off with the head. All of these parts here are on a ball joint, so you can move them as desired, so that they don't get in the way. You can see in there a bit how they connect, and it allows him to get his head up to a decent height, to a decent angle. It does get in the way eventually, but you can he at least looks up pretty well, pretty nicely. Oops, and that popped off, so I guess you got to be careful with that. But you can get it back in, and he looks down really well as well. His mouth, as I showed earlier, it's on a hinge, and I think it opens about that far. So you have that. He also can go side to side a bit. It's not a whole lot because these fur pieces get in the way, but he does have some head nod motion going on. As for the shoulders, they're just on like a double ball peg, and you get pretty good rotation and a little bit of butterfly action, little simulated butterfly action because it's not an actual butterfly joint in there. Does rotate at the forearm, and you do get some. This is about as much as it's going to bend at the elbow. And on the feet or the paws, you can get that you can get them to bend that much forward, and you can begin to bend up a bit. I also wanted to point out, I love how they got the paw pads on his feet as well. I mean, from head to toe, this guy's detailed. It's pretty cool. Torso articulation. He's got some side to side motion. When you combine it with the hips, he goes up about that far and down. I think this is the part where it's limited the most when it comes to the motion. But I mean, you have this huge mane of fur, plastic fur, so it's gonna impede the movement some. But you can get them to. I mean, you still get some motion. So I mean, it is what it is. There's gonna be some give and take. The hind legs, I'll probably use this angle because it's probably better. You've got some decent range of motion there. It's okay. Not so far in the way of forward and back movement with the legs, but the legs are gonna mostly be trying. You're gonna mostly be trying to support the back half of the figure with these legs, so I can see why you're not going to get a whole lot of movement. Be careful here because, like I said, it's pointy here, and you could definitely stab yourself pretty good. You also have rotation in the hind legs, in the, I guess the haunches is what you would call them. I don't know. He's got some movement in his feet. The fur pieces kind of get in the way of that as well, so it limits the range of motion that you're going to have in there, but it's still pretty decent. You're still going to be able to get some poses in it. One thing I would have loved for them to do is to make these joints stiffer. I thought about like if they could have included ratchet joints back here so that you could support the weight, so you could have him like stay rearing up on his hind legs, but just to try and do something real quick to show you, but it's going to be hard to do that even with the tail, using the tail as kind of like a stabilizing base, because you're not going to be able to get his feet planted so it looks right. He's going to teeter forward, but it would have been nice if they weren't going to use ratchet joints, to maybe just make the joints back here stiffer so that you can bend it and it'll hold the pose. That would have been a nice touch, and that would have added a lot to the posability. Now, as for the tail, it's easier to see on the bottom just how segmented they made the tail, and it still looks really good despite it being cut up, but it allows for a lot of range of motion. I mean, look how much you can get that tail to bend, both upwards and downwards, and you can get a decent bends from side to side. Obviously the spines on the side are going to impede movement. You could, if they weren't here, if it was designed differently and his tail wasn't so spiky, you could probably get even more of a bend out of it. But despite, you know, the design and the sculpt of it, you know, you still get a lot of range of motion, and it's cool because you can do some tail swiping poses where he's swinging his tail around, and it actually looked pretty proper. So that's pretty much it for the articulation. I mean, I went from head to toe with this guy, and yeah, I mean, overall I dig this figure. I think if you're buying a Monster Arts figure, you're not really buying it for the figure arts aspect of the posability like you would with a figure arts. You're mainly getting it for the design aesthetic and the way it looks. So I don't have any complaints about that. As for accessories, he doesn't come with much. He comes with this this base, this rocky base, so you can put him on there, and I guess if you have like a diorama or something, this will blend in really nicely. I think as far as the detail on the base, I like the rocks. I like the way they sculpted the rock on it. It has that porous looking feel to it, and it just looks kind of craggy, and I don't know, it looks like a rock. I got a rock. Yeah, it looks good. So I mean, I have no problems with this base. It is what it is. And then he also comes with extra hind feet, as you can see on his front feet and on his hind feet. He has these claws here. This is like them in their like relaxed, retracted position. And when he starts fighting, they flip out and down, and instead of doing like these, these come off, and you have like extra claws that you can put on. I'll show. I might have ended up grabbing the wrong set of claws because he has ones for the right and ones for the left. But yeah, this is the big claw that he comes with, the claw, and he has a little claw too. And I think the big one goes on here, and the little one goes here. If I grab the right ones. Oh, maybe I did. But yeah, this is what it's gonna look like. I know it looks kind of weird, but that's how it looks in the game. He has these really big claws, and these in the game were also breakable parts. Like his horns on his head were breakable in the game, and actually you can pull these off. So if you wanted to simulate that, you could. So those were breakable. These claws were breakable. His tail you could chop his tail off, like literally in the game. And I think his hind legs were breakable too. I can't remember, but yeah, this is what it looks like. So you kind of got an idea of it in its relaxed mode and it in its splayed out mode. And for the hind legs, they just sculpted whole new legs, whole new feet. So, whoops, I grabbed the left feet. I meant to grab the right feet. The right foot, I should say. So yeah, this is what it looks like when it's retracted. This is what it looks like when it's flexed out. So yeah, there's that. And that's pretty much it for accessories. Like, it doesn't come with very much else. It would have been nice if he had came with some lightning effect pieces that you could have put around or in or on his figure, because when he howls and he does his like charge up move, he gets surrounded by lightning and stuff, and that would have been a cool thing to have, especially along with that base. That would have been a nice touch. If you have the thunder effect kit or whatever that Bandai put out, you could use that too, but which is what I did for like a couple pictures. But it would have been nice if he had specific actual sculpted lightning effects to go with the toy. That would have went a long way towards the I guess the value of this toy, in my opinion, rather than just not with and I think it would have justified the price point as well. So yeah, I mean, that's gonna be pretty much it. I do like this purchase. I'm not disappointed with it. It would have been nice if they just included a bit more. I think lately, toy companies have just been really skimping on accessories, all across the board, but on multiple companies, on multiple fronts. But it is what it is, and overall I'm not disappointed because the figure itself is really nice. And I can't wait for them to do more. I'm hoping they do Devil Joe and Nergigante and I think Valtrax. I can't remember its name, but it's another dragon. It's like a dragon with like jet engines for wings, basically. But anyway, I hope they do those. I hope they do those monsters at some point. I mean, this is a line that could go on for a very long time because of all the different wyverns that they have done throughout the course of these games. So I think as long as they keep selling, they're gonna keep making them, and we're gonna keep getting more. And I can't wait. But yeah, that's gonna pretty much do it. So if you guys liked what you saw, please leave a like on the video. Leave your comments, any constructive criticism, or whether this is something you're interested in as well. I want to hear about it in the comments section. Subscribe if you haven't already, and hit the notification bell, because I guess YouTube wants you to do that so you can stay up on all my newest uploads. And that is going to pretty much do it. I'm Agent O, and I'm out. Peace.